You are listening to Unscripted Moments, a podcast about propaganda. In 1996, a short-lived band in Winnipeg recorded 7 songs that were shelved for 30 years and never available until now. That band was called Dud, and the members of the band are Mike Koop from the Bonaduccis on vocals and guitar, John Samson Fellows, formerly of Propaganda and soon to be of the Weaker Thans, on bass and backup vocals, and James Ash, formerly of I Spy, on drums. This episode features an interview with Paul Hodgert of One Friday Music in Manitoba, who recently mixed and mastered the release between October of 2025 and April of 2026. Go to dudband1996.bandcamp.com to pre-order the album titled May Not Go, Unrealized Recordings from 1996. It's a little preview. Here is track 3 titled Walk Away. Enjoy.
If you don't understand the words I'm using, then what's the use in explaining it all again? If you don't know now, you'll never get it. You say you're happy just to be near me. Oh, it's a pity. You're such a phony as I walk away. You hear me laughing as I walk away. A little bit of abuse can be put to good use. There's no visible bruise left for telling the truth. If you don't know now, you'll never get it. Say you're happy just to be near me. Oh, it's a pity. You're such a phony as I walk away. You hear me laughing as I walk away. I know it's true. I have the proof. You open your mouth and it all spilled out. Ha! Sometimes you teach and sometimes you learn. It's well within your reach. It's time you heard. So you don't listen now. You'll never get it. Say you're happy just to be near me. Oh, it's a pity. You're such a phony as I walk away. You hear me laughing as I walk away.
Paul Hodgert, thanks for being here. Unscripted Moments, podcast about propaganda / all other tangentially related propaganda projects.
Wait, this is the Propaganda podcast?
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
I-
wow, I never
You've
heard
been here before.
Oh, that's true, but I mean, are we ever really here?
Yeah, that's what's so funny about this podcast world is that it's just this digital thing that you can just make disappear.
It's ephemeral.
It is. It's so wild. But Paul, why are we here today? Just tell me what I'm forcing you to do.
We're here because today I'm dropping a big dud.
Mm-hmm.
By
Massive
which I
dud.
mean, I have been granted the honor and privilege, I should say, of working on and releasing a record by a band called Dud, a Winnipeg band
Mhm.
that existed for like a couple months, less than 5 shows in 1996, and it was John Samson's band between Propaganda and Weaker Thans. But it also features Mike Koop from the Bonaducci's and Cheerleader and The Kicker and Meds and The Leftists and James Ash, Jimmy Juice Pig from I Spy. So it
Mm-hmm.
heavily connected to your subject matter here. Apparently, I can't get away from I Spy adjacent episodes on your podcast.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? I just want to do a plug for that episode too, because you and Danik did a fantastic I Spy episode on the podcast. I wish I knew when off the top of my head that was. Maybe I'll do a quick search for it.
I have no clue.
It came out on September 18th, 2024.
Dude, I've known
And
it for like years now. That's weird.
yeah, you've been around, and you guys talked about Guide to Excruciatingly Correct Behavior, and
Yep,
Danik also interviewed Bill Conway from the Hard Times, and you interviewed Todd Kowalski about I Spy.
sure
So
did.
that's pretty sweet. Well, I'm glad that we can talk about James and Mike and John's band Dud. So we got to like set the stage here
Yeah,
too, because I was with you from the very beginning.
we're in the room.
I was in the room with you when this conversation happened. So tell me the story of the October 2025 book release party at Public Domain where this all came into existence for you.
Okay, actually, I need to go a little bit further back from that.
Okay.
I have been a huge fan of Mike Koop's work for many years. Love The Kicker, love Bonaducci's. I've got a Cheerleader 7-inch upstairs. Oh, yeah, there you go, that Kicker CD. You got it right there. You got that gospel record.
Dude, I've got Mike's gospel record here too. Mike Koop's Multitude of Sins.
Yeah. And somehow, even though we've run in similar circles, he and I had never met, which is bananas. Similar background, similar circles. He's a bit older than me, but like it's kind of wild that we'd never met. Like that CD you have there, that Kicker CD, that is on Salad Dressing Records,
Hmm.
and one of my old bands used to play with other salad dressing bands all the time. So like I knew those people. Like it's just wild that we never connected. So we met, and in the process of chatting, he mentions that, oh yeah, I was actually in a band with John Samson Fellows, and I was like, oh, dope. Like, did you guys record anything? And he was just like, yeah, I've got the tapes at home. They never came out. At which point you and I were just like, wait, what? There's unreleased like Mike Koop and John Samson stuff? And so I was like, if you give those to me, I will mix them for you because that's
Yeah.
what I do. And I figure we'll all forget about this, whatever. We've done loaded. We go take a break to get ready to come back for the actual event. We come back and Mike already went home and got the tapes. He's got two VHS tapes, which I still have right here. They're SVHS, which means that they were recorded on an Alesis machine called an ADAT, which used VHS or SVHS, I guess, tapes to record 8 tracks of digital audio. And my only experience with one of these was I was in a band called Carpe Diem, and we recorded an EP in like, gosh, 2001 or so, with a guy who used ADAT, and nobody has it anymore. It's actually this really annoying format because it's like it's right in the middle of that transition from tape to computers. So it's digital audio, which means that it doesn't have all the good like analog saturation and all that like the good fun analog stuff, but it also doesn't have the easy like how do you is the word manipulatability? Oh, is that a word?
Sure, why
You
not?
can't
We'll just
manipulate it the way you can
they
digital
make
audio with a
sense.
computer. So it's like, oh, it's got the worst of both, but they were cheap. And because they were cheap, once everybody moved on to using like Pro Tools and computers and things, most people got rid of them. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, now I have to find somebody who has these tapes, who has a machine that can play these tapes. Um, so I'm basically just Googling recording studio Manitoba ADAT because like what How do I know? I found a place that had them, so I book some time. I go in, bring the tapes, we set it up. I get to chatting, and I realize, oh, this is Lloyd Peterson. Peterson engineered the first two Weaker Thans records. He engineered the first Greg McPherson record. Like, I've been listening to this guy's stuff for like 30 years now. Like, he's been on some like formative records for me. So we get to chatting, and it's a delight. He rips them, which involves hooking up a machine to your computer and just playing the songs into the computer. So he gets all that done. I go home, he sends me a link, I pull them up, and here they are, 7 songs on 16 tracks, so that's 8 tracks per tape. They have this delightfully outdated language we don't use anymore. There's a master and a slave, because one of them has the time code built into it and the other one just syncs to it, so one of them's the master. It's like, it's wild that we were still using that language in the 90s, because...
That is really wild, actually.
Yeah, so I get those, and I'm like, okay, cool. Mike, what do you want to do with these when I'm done with them? And he's like, I don't know, maybe we'll see if... Like, I don't want to do anything with them unless James and John... Oh, I should mention, the drummer for this band, that was James Ash from I Spy. Oh, yeah, I did mention it earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, cool, yeah, no worries. With the assumption that they have no real interest in this. This is a lark, a little thing from their past, just like a little memory. So I load them in, mix them up, cool, they sound fine. Then I hear back from Mike saying, hey, James and John are totally cool with the idea of putting this out. And I said, cool, let's do that. And then I go back and I listen to my mixes and I'm like, oh, I kind of phoned this in because this was just a nice quick mix for a friend just to do something kind. So I'm like, I need to remix these. I need to spend a lot more time. I was basically just trying to get him because he didn't have a good sounding copy of it, is my understanding. So I go and I remix them, get them sounding a lot better. And then shortly thereafter, I upgrade some of my studio equipment. I got some new plugins, some new channel strips and things like that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I can do a better job now. I'm going to do them again. So cleared everything off, remixed them again. This is the third mix. I'm like, okay, these sound a lot better. Still not as good as I want them to, but they sound better, a lot better. And then some time goes by, we're sort of ironing out the details because, I mean, we got the 3 members of the band, they're not all in Winnipeg. We all have lives, things get busy. And in the interim, I get some more new equipment. I get like a measurement microphone and some software for tuning my listening space so that it sounds proper. And I'm like, after I've tuned my room, I fire up those tracks, and oh, they actually sound like shit. You know? So I'm like, all right, mixing them again. Pull it all back, mix them again. Finally, I get to a place where I'm actually happy with them, and that's what's coming out. So I mixed these things 4 times because it's, like I said before, it's like people who have been in some of the most formative bands in my life, and it's going out into the world, and we decided that all proceeds are going to go to the Islamic Relief Fund, their efforts in Palestine. If this is going to go out there, if we're going to actually promote this a little bit, try to get some money for a good cause to help some people, I actually want to make it good. And my name's going to be on it. I didn't want to send like the junk mixes.
Right.
Just like, yeah, hey, just for a friend, you can listen to this, which, I mean, if you're paying me, I don't do that. But if I'm just doing something quickly, if I don't have the time to go nuts, I won't go nuts. And I'll tell you that and you'll know it. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything. But I'm really happy with how they turned out in the end. On mix number 4. Third mastering job of mix number 4, because I also mastered these a bunch of times because I'm just really paranoid that it's not going to sound good in people's cars, because that's where people, cars and headphones, that's where people listen to music now.
Yeah.
So yeah, now as of today, we have a release date coming out May 15th, so 2 weeks from today. And I mean, it'll already be live by the time and announced by the time this comes out. But we're announcing it in about 3 hours. The pre-sale's going, actually it's live right now, so I can get the link. But we're announcing the pre-sale. People can click on the link on my Instagram or One Friday Music MB Instagram. It'll be out there. I'm sure you'll put the link in the description and all that stuff.
100%.
And it's going out. It's happening. I'm and I'm incredibly excited. I'm tired.
Yeah. You've been working like crazy on this. Like you've been mixing, we've been texting about this for 2 months. And
Yeah.
so the amount that has gone into this, like you're really downplaying it, very admirably, by the way. But this has been quite an insane process for you. Like, can you tell us a little bit about what was challenging about the mixes from a 30-year-old recording? I know that you had some concerns about some of the mixes that you've done.
Yeah.
What were some of the limitations with the original files that you kind of struggled with?
Well, the main one was the initial tracks, which I believe they were recorded by John Sutton, who was on the first two Weaker Thans records as well, and in a bunch of other bands. And he's made some records I really like. Um, but if I'm not mistaken, it was like recorded in someone's house,
Hmm.
and based on like just doing it in like a living room or a dining room or something, there's a lot of bleed in the drums. So getting the drums to actually sound right and pop out was a real challenge because anytime I wanted to turn the snare down, the hi-hats disappeared because they're barely audible in the overheads, but they're super loud in the snare. Like it's just a lot of like it's a 30-year-old recording on a not great technology.
Hmm.
Revolutionary for its time, and it served a great purpose, but it's not a great technology. So it was just a lot of trying to clean things up, um, and unfortunately well, not replacing, but like blending in some other stuff with the sounds to sort of make them cut through better. Because the way we want music to sound now is a lot different than we wanted it to sound 30 years ago. Um, and you'll be happy to know I did not make it sound like a John Feldman drum set. I did
You
not
you're
use.
speaking my language right there, buddy.
I hate that stuff. I was just trying to go for a modern take on like a Lookout Records sound, like a Mr. T Experience or 15 or like early Green Day record, but like with a little bit more body, and pulling some like low end and body out of it was also pretty tough because we just have a DI'd bass, which was actually a blessing because then I can do whatever I want with it. I don't have to worry about bleed or like what amp they used. It's just DI'd, which was great. And the other big challenge was there's one guitar part.
Mm.
Double mic'd, so I've got some tone options, but it's one track. So to give that sort of any body or oomph to sort of cut through and sit front and center, like and make it as thick as I could, was a big challenge because I mean, you listen to like a punk record now, it's like four or five copies in each channel, just giving you this nice big thick wall, which I didn't have the benefit of having at my fingertips, unfortunately.
Yeah, the did the band members tell you any stories about the recording or anything like that? Like, have they told you like any little fun anecdotes from that time back then?
Not really a ton. I do know that originally a couple of these songs, were going to go on a split 7 inch, and the other side was going to be some John Samson Fellows solo stuff,
Hmm.
and that was going to be out on Endearing Records. But that sort of, I mean, the band broke up, so that didn't really happen, and then the Weaker Thans happened, so there's really no point. Um, there's that. That's really the most interesting thing, other than just the fact that they did it really, really quickly, and uh, when they finished tracking, Mike told he took it home and he showed it to his roommates, and he was so excited about it. And his roommates were just like, "Your voice sounds really weird." Like
Really?
they're just kind of really negative about it, which is probably one of the reasons why it sat on the shelf for 30 years. Because I listened to it and I'm like, "No, dude, that's Mike. Mike sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Like he has a specific style to his vocals, and they're great. They blend really well with John's vocals. Like it's a really good sort of mix. There's good emotion, and it's got that sort of youthful energy to it that I'm not sure I could muster up on a record now in my 40s.
Hmm.
So it's just like there's something. I thought that was a funny story because it's like, dude, your roommates suck.
Yeah. Well, and I know that Mike has he repurposed some of these songs in other bands. So there are some potentially some alternate versions out there, correct?
Yeah, I believe that one of his bands recorded the song. I have it here as doubtful, but I believe it's now called I Get What I Deserve. I think another band has recorded that one. And I know that the Kicker did What I Say May Not Go live quite a bit slower and with
Mm.
like much cleaner guitars. There's a really good YouTube video of it, of them doing it at the West End Cultural Center. So I know that at least those ones have been done by other bands. And he's told me like he's rewritten some of these lyrics over the years, made little tweaks here and there. So this is very much like a nice time stamp. Like it's just like a snapshot of November of 1996 for these
Hmm.
songs and these artists. Like coming out of Propagandy, John's bass playing had over this time in Propaganda, his bass playing improved quite a bit. Like you do when
Hmm.
you do something a lot, and like his bass lines really add a lot to these songs, and his backup vocals really add a lot. Like it's and it's really nice to have like the input of all the players. And James is a beast on the drums.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I was amazed too that how well Mike and John's vocals go together. Like these two guys go together a lot more naturally than John and Chris in those
Yeah,
earlier Propaganda records. Like this is a much better vocal fit for John
oh big
as
time.
in a band where he's doing backup vocals primarily, like he did in Propaganda.
Yeah, like as much as I love the end of state lottery with the frothing at the mouth about the stick of fat they've, it's like, oh no, he's standing out a lot. And it's like that is John doing something that does not feel as natural as it does on these songs or on Weaker Than stuff. Or on Vivat Virtute stuff. Like
Hmm. Very
it's
good.
very fascinating. Um and I mean Mike's just such a great songwriter to begin with, and he has been forever. He and I
Yeah.
are working on some other stuff right now too, which can't really talk too much about, but just we got some other things cooking, and it's just like it's so nice to work with nice people who make good music and who care.
Isn't it, Paul? I know we've chatted about this like privately in our correspondences over the last several years, but isn't it crazy, like the way that we grew up being a fan of certain people, and then the fact that we get to like collaborate in any kind of way? Isn't that just so fascinating to you?
Yeah, it is wild to me that I was texting with John Samson Fellows not an hour ago.
It's such an honor, like to
What
be
a
involved
weird
in
world this is.
like to be led into this orbit in any way is just such an honor to me. I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah, like you ask on the on mainline episodes, how did you first do you remember first hearing Propagandy? And my answer was like, no, because they've just always been there. I grew up in South Osborne in Winnipeg. Like I've their name is on posters as long as I've been able to read.
Yeah.
So there is no it was them and Urban Sprawl. I think I mentioned that too. For some reason Urban Sprawl sticks in my head. But like there's never been a time when John's work has not been at least in the background of my life, and then finding Propagandy and Weaker Thans as like a preteen was
Hmm.
like I mean, Let's Talk More Rock radicalized me like it did so many others.
Yeah. So this EP has such a wide variety of sounds, right? We almost have like some down tempo doo-woppy stuff like in Doubtful. We've got some Jawbreaker, Lookout Records kind of stuff in songs like Please and What I Say. Tell me about your favorite stuff on this EP. Like what really stands out to you about, you've been so close to the project now for so long, but tell me about some of your favorite stuff on here.
You know, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound weird. For some reason, and I can't even tell you why, Please makes me think of early Bare Naked Ladies.
Mm.
It's sort of it's not, it doesn't have the big thick guitars. It's a little bit it's cleaner, but it's sort of got like a skippiness, like to my BNL heads out there, sort of like a the song Grade Nine or Enid from Gordon. Like it's got a bit of that skippiness. But for me, I it's What I Say May Not Go. I think is one of the best songs that Mike's ever written. I think that song it's catchy as hell. It's the lyrics are very relatable to us weird uh, prairie born white guys. And like something about that, like I'm a big Jawbreaker guy, so like anything that sort of has that sort of Jawbreakery or and for that matter, Green Day was the first punk band I got into, so also that Lookout stuff, like that stuff really hits me in like the memories and sort of thinking like, oh man, I was 12 when this was recorded. I would have lost my mind for this stuff when I was 12. but then throwing in Doubtful, which is like almost like has almost a country flavor
Yeah.
with a country, but like a little country swing ish. It's just like fascinating stuff, like to be so all over the map for what is ostensibly a pop punk band
Mm-hmm.
in
Well,
'96 when people weren't doing that.
and Wasted kind of has like a little country feel too. There's like these really good, like little licky guitar parts in there where I'm like, man, you
Uh,
could totally turn this into a country song if you just shift it slightly.
are you asking me to turn this into a country song now?
I think you should cover it eventually as a country song
I don't
because
know
you
about
and I
that.
are country musicians.
That's true. That's true. We are.
We are. We're
I
country
will think.
musicians.
I will think about that. Yeah, like it just all over the map in terms of the vibes, but it still all sort of comes from that same place. Which, if I'm not mistaken, Mike's favorite band of all time is the Who, who also were like, oh, we're this R&B band who then went on to do weird, expansive stuff and synthy things and all over the place, while still rocking their asses off. And this goes all over the place, but this still like rocks. Like it still has that energy that I just even in my 40s, I still crave for when I like first heard Basket Case on the radio.
Tell me a little bit about the process for nailing down some artwork for the record.
Well, there was artwork in '96. It was drawn by Mike for a
Is that
seven.
what you posted?
Yeah, I posted that a while back. That was the original cover with the AOR swill, which, yeah, there's a lot of AOR swill. I happen to kind of like album oriented rock, which is what I think that stands for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
I'm
I was
just
like,
gonna, there it is
oh,
right
there it
there.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, that's very much of a time, and it's just like a weird little drawing. I don't even know if that was meant to be the final or if that was just like a mock up for an idea. But I reached out to the great Matt Milkowski out of Chicago, my Central Time friend,
Yeah.
and told him what the project was, told him like who's playing on it, what I'm doing, where the money's going, and he just was like, yes, immediately. Like he didn't waver whatsoever. Sent us a bunch of options. We narrowed it down and like we really considered like little modifications and we ended up just going with one of the first ones he sent because that's what you always do. Even if the first one's perfect, you still want to look at the rest of them and then you end up going back to the perfect first one. Um, and that's what's going to be on. And I'm even debating getting that little skull as a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
This record means a lot to me for based on who's involved and what they've meant to me. So why not memorialize this huge thing with the tattoo? I've already got my another John tattoo with my I'd rather be flag burning mop guy. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the artwork versions that Matt sent were really cool. I saw a few of the options that you guys considered, all very cool. Isn't it amazing like how quickly Matt works? Like if any
that
bands
turnaround,
out there are looking for an artist who works quick, like man, Matt Milkowski, this dude he is a like legend at this point.
works quick, takes direction, doesn't get offended if you don't like something or something isn't right, and just does incredible work. And also, let's not forget the fact, great guy. Like
Oh yeah.
this week, I cannot wait. He's coming to town in September, and I cannot wait to hang out with him in person. Like it's
Have you guys met yet?
oh,
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so happy that you guys will get a lot of solid one-on-one time. That's wonderful. Really cool. Are there any so you are releasing this
yeah.
EP, correct?
Yes, it's Bandcamp exclusive. It's I'm releasing it on my sort of I quote unquote label, One Friday Music, just name my label in my studio. That so far this is the first thing that I have not played on that has come out on that. Although I'm talking to some other artists right now, so
Mm.
keeping it very Winnipeg though. Like I'm planning to make it. This is a Winnipeg label, like because I sort of see myself as the Ian Mackay. No. But like I am taking that sort of Discord model of I want to
Yeah.
document this stuff because this is the stuff that matters to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's coming out, and like I said, by the time you hear this, it'll either be out, depending on how long this ends up taking, but at the very least, it will be available to pre-order on Bandcamp. And
Nice.
the name of it is May Not Go, Unrealized Recordings from 1996 by Dud.
How did that title come about?
I suggested that. I suggested the May Not Go thing because I'm a big fan of having an album where there's the title is almost the same as one of the songs, but not quite. So
Mm-hmm.
the song is called What I Say May Not Go, and this band did not go. So I was like, hey, why not May Not Go? And then Mike wanted to add the little bit of clarification that, like, yeah, this isn't new stuff because we don't want to trick anybody to thinking that, like, this is a new John Samson record. It's not.
Right.
It's an old thing that John Samson was a part of and is, in my opinion, an integral part of, like, his artistic contributions. And it's just nice to hear him singing on a song I hadn't heard before.
He has so many fantastic vocals all over this record. Have you communicated with James at all? Is James excited about this?
Yeah, I reached out to James on Instagram. We're chatting a little bit. He's stoked about all of this. In fact, he just told me that about a band who's covering an I Spy song that he gets to do guest vocals on.
No
So like,
way.
I cannot wait for that to come out because, as I mentioned on previous episodes, I love I Spy.
Yeah.
I've just got a real thing for like Winnipeg punk music. It feels it's very special to me as somebody who grew up in Winnipeg and almost lives there now.
I'm planning on asking the band members this question as well, but do you know anything about I know you mentioned earlier that there were some shows. Do you know any details about the shows that they did do?
I believe one was a house party or a house show. Might have been at the punk house. Can't remember the street it's on, but by Corden for the like six people who know what that means. I believe Todd Kowalski was at least one of their shows because I think he and James are still pretty tight,
Yeah, they are. They're friends.
which is awesome. I mean, I would love to. I'm not really tight with that many people I played in bands with 30 years ago,
Hmm.
and I Spy broke up 31 years ago now. So that's all I know is like it looks like three they think, um, and at least one of them was a house show or a house party or something like that. So like very little exists, and there's zero photographs of them together.
Wow.
I I tried like
I'm sure.
that would have been the perfect press thing is just like a little baby versions, and by baby I mean like early to mid 20s versions of these guys, but nothing exists because it was obviously pre-camera phones.
Yeah. Well, Paul, what an amazing project. I have loved watching you go through this from afar. Your updates have always been very exciting for me. I often don't know what you're talking about in your messages because of your
Me and
mixes.
Milko start talking about like, oh yeah, I got to figure out the multiband compression on all of the frequencies below 600 hertz.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. I don't know what you guys are talking about at all, but it's just fun to see sort of like a behind the curtain thing of what goes into making an album. And I got to just say, what an unbelievable amount of work you and Matt and the band have done on this release to actually make it happen. Are there any other things that you'd like to say about the release before we
Yeah, I just want to
bring
say
this in for a landing?
when I say that all money is going to Islamic Relief Fund, I mean all of it. Like I've spent money on this out of my own pocket that I'm not going to recoup because I want all of that money to go to the Islamic Relief Fund. It'll go straight into the One Friday PayPal and then straight back out to them. Because and that's why we want everybody to buy it. It's $7. It's cheap,
Yeah.
and you can give more if you want, and just know that that is in essence, a donation to Palestinian relief from the Islamic Relief Fund, which is the
And
same
the
organization that John played a show with, and Christine played with him, or not with him, but they both played at a church. I think it was maybe 2 years ago, one of his first shows back after a long time. It's the
yeah.
same organization.
And the band chose the charitable contribution destination, correct?
Yeah, well, I said we should give the money to something, and I pitched a Palestine thing. We discussed it. We had a few options. Some of the ones that we were thinking of have been kicked out of Gaza. So giving them money would be good, but that money's not going to be able to be used specifically on the ground, which is why we decided to go with the Islamic Relief Fund. Like, we deeply considered all like a bunch of options and talked a lot about it because where you send your money matters. Where you
Yeah.
spend voting with your dollar matters. So we put in the work and discussed it for months at this point.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you for any reason about this release, how can they do so and where can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, you can email me onefridaymusicmb@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram, One Friday. Am I One Friday? I just started it finally after years.
Yeah, no, it's great. I was just looking at it a minute ago.
I just It's One Friday Music. At One Friday Music on Instagram is the other place, and I'm
Perfect.
slowly adding my old catalog to Discogs so you can see what's out there.
I presume there will be a Discogs entry for this album coming soon.
Probably. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but there should be digital only. And there's obviously one for that record behind me right there, Paul is Dead, right next to the
Wonderful.
One Friday skateboard.
Nice. Well, I look forward to continuing to peer pressure you to do a physical release of this in some way, even if it's only a teeny tiny little limited one. So I'm just going to keep nudging you in that
We will
direction.
see. We will see.
I love it. I'm going to bother the band too. I'm going to bother Mike as well. So
Yeah,
Mike, I'm coming for you.
Mike's the one to bother, because James is so far away, and I mean, people bother John enough.
Oh yeah.
Like the an interview he did uh months ago got picked up and went viral like a couple weeks ago, that and people are probably just bugging him about like playing shows again when he's basically said I don't want to do that really anymore. Though he is
Yeah,
playing at an event coming up soon, so I'm excited for that.
he should do whatever he wants to do and he should not do anything that he doesn't want to do. That's my opinion on it.
Exactly.
I try to leave him alone as much as possible, but he is
Same.
always welcome here as he knows.
Oh, and everybody, if this comes out before next weekend, which I doubt it will, go see the Bonaducci's if you're in Winnipeg. They're playing at the West End Cultural Center next weekend.
Oh,
That's
this will be out. This will be out before that.
Yeah, that's Mike's other band. They're great, absolute legends in the Winnipeg scene.
And
So
they've been a band for what, 25, 30 years at this point?
I think
Off
they
and
started
on?
in like '93 or '4, like
Yeah.
over 30. I mean, I don't think they've put out a record in 20 years, but who has really?
Not me, that's for sure. But
That's
yeah,
not true. That's
he's
not
in
true.
that.
You put out a record today.
I sure did. But yeah, the work. Doug McLean is in Bonaducci's with Mike,
Yes,
isn't
Doug
he?
McLean,
Okay,
Bonaducci's paperbacks, does his own solo stuff.
fantastic, fantastic songs as well. Man,
Yeah,
two powerhouse songwriters in that band. That is crazy.
yeah. It's it's Winnipeg, man. Like that's I don't know what it is about this place, but we just love music so much and love to put out honest, heartfelt music about real things in our lives and lives of people around the world.
Well, the fact that I had even the smallest role in just inviting Mike to play the book release show, and then
Hmm.
that ignited this friendship with you, like I just could not be more pleased about how this has all turned out.
Oh yeah, love Mike. It's
Amazing.
been great.
Well,
Only good things have come from this so far.
it's incredible. Well,
That's
Paul,
one of
I'm
the few
very
things that only good things have come from. Everything else in the world is bad. So
yeah. This is like a bright light amidst the wasteland of our society that seems to be hell bent on destroying itself under pretty much every possible manner. So
yeah, this stuff and this sort of thing and my kids are what keep me getting out of bed.
I'll take it. But Paul, thank you so much for joining me to chat about this brand new release, Dud May Not Go, Unrealized Recordings from 1996. What a pleasure. And I'm so excited. I'm going to promote the living heck out of it, and I'm really excited to hear what everybody thinks.
Oh yeah, go hit it up on Bandcamp. The link will be in the description. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow. Make sure your review is more than 6 words long. I don't. It's all this stuff I hear on podcasts and YouTube videos.
It's really wild. Well, Paul, thanks, man. I really appreciate you telling the story of the release.
Oh, thank you for putting it out there and for being a part of getting this to go. I couldn't be more excited about it.